Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between, well, it is WhiteRa and GLSnute, and my exploit just messed up there so the game wouldn't actually start, but don't worry, it's all going fine now. So, GLSnute is in the top right as the red Zerg, and we have got WhiteRa as the blue Protoss in the bottom left, and the map is Teldarim Altar. Yep, it definitely is. I suddenly panicked there, and well, it should be good. It's the best of 3, and this is game 1. So I'm going to stick them all in a playlist as I normally do. So just for convenience, you can carry on watching the other 2 games in the series, and that should be sweet times. Anyway, what is going to be going on? Well, Teldarim, we're probably going to see a 14-15 pull out of Snute just to be safe, and then we'll go for a hatchery. WhiteRa, well, going to be going for a fast expansion. That pylon says it all, and that's because the rush distance is huge, that he doesn't really have to worry too much about any super early pressure from Snute. And well, I forgot to check where this game is from. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm just trying to cast some games quickly because I've been having a nightmare actually being able to get some casts out this week, purely because I've had power cuts and awful shenanigans like that, and it's just irritating. Seriously, don't move to the countryside. You have terrible internet and terrible power fluctuations. But here we go, we will see that is a really early spawning pool out of Snute. That must have been about 11. It must have been. So yeah, that's a super early pool out of Snute. Again, he can get a queen really early from that. He's also defended from any kind of early pressure in cannons or anything like that from WhiteRa, but to be honest, it all depends whether Snute tries to put on some pressure with this. I don't think he will, just because of the rush distance and the map setup. But again, it's a possibility, and obviously, if it is something you could go for, then who knows? WhiteRa's obviously going to see that and be a little concerned now, thinking, okay, well, there goes the ball. He's using this probe just down here. A double extractor coming out now from Snute. It is for the double extractor trick to get those 4 Zerglings. So this is a bit of a peculiar build, but I really like it. I think that this could allow a lot of options for Snute now, because obviously he's ready to go and take that hatch. He has got these 4 Zerglings on the way, so that will cause no problems of it getting denied, and ultimately he hasn't missed too much. But there goes down the pylon block from WhiteRa, but we will see those Zerglings in the drone able to clean that up insanely quickly, and Snute is now able to go and take his hatch, but he hasn't actually got a Overlord on the way, and he's got plenty of minerals too, so that could have been a little improvement that Snute could have got off there. We will see the Nexus down, and the Forge and the Gateway and Cannon are basically finishing up, so that means WhiteRa is now pretty safe. The Overlord only just now coming out for Snute. This is less than perfect play, going for another double extractor trick, which again, okay, it wasn't a double extractor trick, it was just the one extractor trick. The other extractor is actually going up, but look at Snute's money, just really high. At this stage of the game, you don't want that at all. That is definitely not a time in the game you want to be banking lots of minerals. So, what is going on for WhiteRa? He's getting up his second gas, his Nexus, and his Natural's about down now. We will see these Zerglings already trying to clear out the rocks. Super early clearing them out, but obviously Zerglings against rocks are really bad. It's one of the big reasons why a lot of maps now don't have rocks blocking the third, but rather the entrance to the third, just so the Zerg players aren't completely destroyed by it, because obviously the response is, well, to a Forge Fast Expand, as a Zerg player, you want to get your third base out by about 4 minutes 20 to 4 minutes 40. Before that is a bit early, but anything a lot delayed puts you behind economically, and if you look, well, we're already about a minute delayed from the ideal times, so that is going to be a bit of a problem for Snute, but he's getting up his second gas anyway. He's getting up some more queens, because queens are winning. He is only actually going to go to 2 rather than 3, which is something that's a bit more unusual. Getting Zergling speed come out. We will see this one probe coming out here for WhiteRa, so is this just scouting, or is it going to do something funky, like drop down a pylon, which would make Snute cry? Who knows, but here we will see that a Robo is coming down, so this is a 1-gate Robo type build out of WhiteRa here, so really going for the economy. He has got quite a few chrono boosts stored, so again, not sure if that is for a particular reason. We will see those Zerglings haven't actually finished taking out the rocks yet, because they came to deal with that probe. Obviously Snute is a bit worried about what WhiteRa is up to. Here comes down Lair, so this is, again, fairly standard timing for Lair. No Roach One out yet, though, for Snute, which is something that some Zerg players could find a bit unusual. I mean, there was a time when having no Roach One in a ZVP would have been crazy out there. But then we have players like Stefano come along who just were like, I'm going to make Zerglings and just Zerglings and upgrade them and then I'll win. And basically after that point everyone started doing that sort of thing. So no more is it the days where a Roach Warren is essential in ZVP, and also gone on the days where PvPs are just 4 gates and ZVZs are just 6 balls. But anyway, it's probably good we've got a bit more diversity now. We will see here Snute still just desperately working down on those rocks, just ever so slowly going. Zergling speed is now done and one is going to go out to go and scout, but we do have a Warp Prism on the way. And well, if there's one thing I get scared of, it's Warp Prisms, because well, they are then in your base and there is nothing you can do. We've also got Robobait coming out, but what's this? We've got Spire, so if Snute does go quickly into some Mutalisks, that, well, one, it'll be great against those Colossi, which are inevitably coming out, while you are sacrificing a lot to get them out super early, and it will also mean that he can pick off the Warp Prism really, really quickly as well. Now, these rocks are finally going to go down a bit quicker, but still, even with this many Zerglings, just look at how long they take to go down. Just constantly wearing at them, but they just don't die. And there we go, finally does go down, but Snute taking his third base at 8 minutes 20, which really is about 4 minutes later than he wants to, considering WhiteRa has gone for that fast expand. Now we will see this Warp Prism is just sitting there. Hopefully we'll eventually go and do something, because really when something like that is rushed out, doing something with it is better. Actually going for the Gravatic Drive here. So WhiteRa just wants those Warp Prisms to go really, really fast. Not actually going to pick up that Colossi, which is a bit peculiar, but oh well, never mind. We will see that Snute making up for that late third by getting a fourth super quick and double expanding, which is a good move. His Spire is about to finish as well. Snute not actually being too good with his injects. Actually, I'd say being quite bad with his injects. He's nearly got a whole inject saved up, so that's not good at all. But oh well, we will see if he does manage to pull through with this anyway. There comes out all of those Mutas, and has he seen this Warp Prism coming up? I do not know, but he will scout it with this Overlord, and the Mutas will pop, and then that Warp Prism will have some problems. But it's of course moving insanely fast. It has stopped up in this top position here, and we will now see the Colossi is out, and we'll make sure work with those Zerglings, which are desperately trying to run away. +1 is about to finish up there for WhiteRa. Meanwhile, we will see that drop is going to deny that fourth base, and a warping of units coming in at the same time. But here comes all the Mutalisks, and with just a couple of sentries to shoot at it, that could be big problems. And if that Warp Prism goes down, that is going to be a big loss. But no, it does look like Snute is going to target down the Zealots and the Immortal, but the base does get sniped, and that is a big loss there for Snute. And well, seriously, he's just got to run away with this Warp Prism. There's no one going down, and there we go, will fall, and that was cleaned up quite nicely by Snute, but obviously lost his fourth base, didn't get cancelled because it had completed. A Baneling Nest coming down now somewhere, there we go. We've also got the double upgrades, the 1-1 for the melee, and well, I mean, Snute is going to be in a good upgrade position. WhiteRa now following up with a Dark Shrine, but WhiteRa, you're not behind, you don't need to Dark Shrine, but still, a Dark Shrine is a good option. It opens up Immortals, and also, if for some reason Snute didn't have any detection, that would, well, ruin his day. But to be honest, much more is the fact that the Archons will be great against the Mutas, because Archons do splash damage against air, and Mutas clump uploads, so just a couple of Archons can ruin a Mutalisk Flock's day. We will see here this Colossi looking slightly vulnerable there, and again another drop coming out, so WhiteRa being insanely good with his dropping there. We will also see that Snute is getting drop tech as well as the Overlord speed. He has got a nice number of drones. Where is he at? 79 to 47. So that is a nice place to be. We will see that the Warp Prism does get picked off. So does another sentry. So if we take a look at the loss tab, well, this is super efficient engagements by Snute. He has lost so much less than WhiteRa, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing, because really his economy wasn't ahead for quite a long time. His fourth base is about to finish up though, but WhiteRa's third also done, so really this is balanced out. It's exactly where Snute wants to be, one base ahead, and really from now he's got that +1 carapace, he's got +1 melee attack about to finish up too, getting his infestation pick or macro hatch up. Down on WhiteRa's side, well, he's getting more warp prisms out. He's really enjoying dropping. He's got a DT on the way. 2 more DTs getting warped in, so they will all come down. Plus 2 attack is about to be done for his ground. He has got Blink finished, and really there's just this big flock of Mutas, Banelings, and all the Banelings. It's going to be a huge Baneling drop, and oh my god, that gets me so excited. Meanwhile, though, DTs are coming up. WhiteRa, what are you going to do, WhiteRa? You're going to kill stuff because, well, there is no detection anywhere at all. It is all gone, and that means the third and the fourth base is going to go down. But we will see that this Overseer is coming out here for Snute, so that will be able to scalp that DT, but not before it kills a awful lot of workers. Just look at this. This is such a satisfying moment for a Protoss player, just watching it. And what's even worse is these drones are just sitting there, literally just dying. But here we go, we've got the action coming in here. Here come all of those Overlords. How much are they going to do? The Stalkers come in. Watch out, Stalkers, there's Banelings in there, and there goes down the Baneling rain, and oh my god, they're all going to die. Everything is just going to die so badly, and here comes the Banelings, even more coming in, and they're going to get into the mineral line. And how much damage can they do here? They can do huge amounts, and just look at everything die. And there's still even some Banelings left. The Colossi coming in, but what is that Colossi going to do? Not very much, because there's Mutas, there's Zerglings, there's Banelings, there's everything, and more Banelings are going to get dropped down on those Stalkers there. But meanwhile, in the main base, there has been a drop of a lot of DTs here for WhiteRa, so this is pretty much going to become a base race, and DTs just do crazy big damage, and really there's nothing to defend this here at the moment. But if we come down here, we will see that it looks like those photon cannons are going to be able to clear up everything there for WhiteRa. And there's literally only a couple of Mutalists floating around, but all 3 of WhiteRa's bases are still up and running. Meanwhile, there is this third base down here. It is a third base now because, of course, the main was taken out. That also means that Snute is back in the Stone Ages of tech. He's lost his spawning pool, his evolution chambers, his infestation pit is about to die any second. And we will see here a massive warp in of Zealots to try and deal with these Zerglings. But WhiteRa is in an amazing spot right now. The only trouble is he has hardly any workers. And really this game is just becoming crazy, and we will see here that Snute is retaking his main base, but there is that one DT still there. These all need to go and kill that DT, which is exactly what WhiteRa doesn't want to happen, because he was happy with that DT in there. Snute now has cleaned up most things, but more DTs down here, taking out that third base insanely quickly, plus 2 DTs do 55 damage a hit, and are just going to kill absolutely everything. There is this base down here now, though, so really this is now WhiteRa's main base. He's got his natural down here, and it's taking a third, which is a bit more unusual. There goes down an Evo chamber, a spawning pool is on the way down as well. And how many drones are left? Well, there's 45 drones to 31 probes. Those DTs still just doing damage everywhere. And what was killed? Well, actually the workers' kill count was insanely equal, which is pretty awesome. If we look at the loss tab, we will see WhiteRa pulled ahead for being so far behind. Here comes down a Templar Archives. So really we will see WhiteRa very much favouring Archons and possibly some Storms as well. We've got another War Prism in production. We've got Lair coming out here for Snute. We've got Spine Crawlers, and please say a Spore. Yes, the Spore is there. So we will see now that Snute has learned his lesson. DTs are really unhappy and make you sad face. So I'll build a Spore Crawler so I don't die a horrible death. Unless, of course, well, the DT gets in before the Spine's done, and then it will just kill the Spines and then kill the Spore Crawlers, and then everyone will be really sad. That looks exactly like what is going to happen. But there is a Queen out. The Spine is denied. And we will see here that the DT gets away. He's like, my work here is done, and just leaves. Meanwhile, we've got a big warp in here from WhiteRa. This is just so many DTs. It is crazy. And that many DTs in such a good position here. See how they're fine between the mineral patches. That's just stopping any surround. And they are just going to completely mow through everything. But it does look like it's going to get cleaned up. Although I cannot see a thing here. We will see a High Templar come in, and that did a feedback on something. I'm not quite sure what, but it did a good feedback somewhere. And now it's just going to die a hideous death. Was it on the Overseer? If it was, that would have been an epic move by WhiteRa, just denying the detection absolutely everywhere. And now those DTs will get cleaned out. But look, 77 workers killed, 78, 79, 80 workers. That is insane. That is nearly as many drones as TLO gets in a game. That is how many drones WhiteRa has killed. And meanwhile, down here, well, WhiteRa's just happy. He's just like, Okay, build probes, build pylons, harass with DTs, and Snute goes for the GG. So that was one crazy game. I hope you did enjoy. Tune in for game 2.